And our lead story this afternoon, well, the Election Commission is set to announce election dates both for Maharashtra and Jharkhand. Now remember, this is key because the Model Code of Conduct will now be in place immediately after the Election Commission announces the poll dates. And after that, the campaign will, of course, start picking up pace as well. Prime Minister Modi, Mr. Mallikarjun Kharge, Rahul Gandhi, all of these people have been campaigning already in Maharashtra. In fact, the Prime Minister sounded the poll bugle several days ago with his speech in Mumbai. In fact, these are pictures of the Maha Vikas Aghadi releasing what they call is a charge sheet against the Mahayuti. So, of course, activity has already started. Both the camps have hit the ground running. And today is going to be crucial given the fact that these are two key states, both for the BJP and the Congress, and has wide national ramifications as well. The elections are likely to be held most likely in November, given the fact that the Maharashtra term comes to an end on November the 25th. But listen to all the initial reactions that have come in.
We are confident that like Haryana, Maharashtra will vote a pro-incumbency government, which is the Bharatiya Janata Party-led NDA government. The people of Jharkhand are frustrated because of vote bank and corrupt politics of Mr. Hemant Soren. In Maharashtra, on one hand, you have the Maha Vikas Aghadi, and on the other hand, it is a Bharatiya Janata Party-led Mahayuti. We are very confident, like Haryana exposed the jhoot ki dukaan of the Congress party, Maharashtra and Jharkhand will say no to Congress-led alliance.
आज इलेक्शन का घोषणा होना है और इसकी जानकारी कल ही भाजपा नेताओं को हो जाती है। बहुत गंभीर विषय है। क्या भाजपा नेताओं के इशारे पर आयोग काम करता है? बड़ा अजीब लगता है। इस कदर किसी आयोग को कठपुतली बना के रखना गंभीर बात। एक खाका तैयार है, किसे कहाँ लड़ना है मोटा मोटी वो भी तैयार है, घोषणा बाकी है। 2-3 सीट पर जीत है जिस पर बात होगी और फिर आगे घोषणा हो जाएगी।
पहले आप कराइए, आप महाराष्ट्र के साथ चुनाव कराना चाहते हैं, ठीक है, तो आपने हरियाणा का जब 3 नवंबर को था और महाराष्ट्र का 26 नवंबर को ड्यू डेट था, तो आपने इन दोनों का साथ क्यों नहीं कराया? तो कहीं ना कहीं जब आप हमारी बात अनसुनी करते हैं तो हमें ये लगता है कि आप राजनीति से प्रेरित होकर या किसी दल विशेष से प्रेरित होकर के इस तरह की घोषणाएं करते हैं। फिर भी हम ये कहते हैं कि चुनाव आयोग का सम्मान करते हुए हम पूरी तरह से तैयार हैं और हर स्थिति परिस्थिति का मुकाबला बढ़िया से करेंगे।
And let me go across live to our reporters. Radhika Ramaswamy is joining us from Mumbai. We also have Prabhakar joining us. Radhika, to you first. So, well, Maharashtra date set to be announced today. It's going to be extremely crucial. This is, as many point out, the most interesting state after what happened in the Lok Sabha. But what are some of the reactions you're picking up from both camps who are now, who are now in a huddle? You have that key Maharashtra meeting for the BJP tomorrow. Yesterday, of course, the MVA also was in a huddle. What are some of the reactions you're picking up? What do they expect? All parties expecting a single-phase election, I believe?
That's right. All parties expecting a single-phase election, just like in 2019. Of course, multiple reactions coming in. Yes, parties are in a huddle, alliance partners are in a huddle in order to finalize seat sharing formula, because there have been multiple meetings happening, Vedant. We've been reporting on meetings and multiple formulas that are being worked out. Winnability, merit are the factors that they are looking at, both MVA and Mahayuti. Today there's going to be a press conference by Mahayuti as well to counter the points raised by MVA. You did speak about the chart sheet that was launched by MVA against Mahayuti. So to counter that, there's going to be a press conference. So it will be interesting to see how Mahayuti leaders will react to all the corruption charges leveled by MVA leaders. Now, that's as far as allegations or counter allegations are concerned. We also know that state government had been announcing multiple schemes over the last few months, be it the Ladki Behan scheme and multiple infrastructure projects, and also trying to allow the OBC as well as scheduled caste communities by making certain decisions and announcements. So all this happening in cabinet meeting, over the last couple of weeks. Yesterday, of course, we saw the relief in terms of toll collection as well. So these are schemes being launched. These are announcements being made. Opposition is seeing this as, election jumla and just to deflect from law and order situation, deteriorating law and order situation in the state. So that is something the opposition is going to raise in the coming days. The fact that, a murder of big political figure Baba Siddiqui, who's part of the ruling community, happened just a few days ago, and then of course the Salman Khan incident as well. So law and order is going to be one important factor that will certainly be raised by the opposition in the campaigns, in the upcoming campaigns. So of course it's going to be high voltage campaigns I'll be seeing in the next few weeks, and things have changed as we've been pointing out, how political equations have changed, how there are multiple parties now, friends turn foes and vice versa. So therefore there is a lot of internal defections and beg your pardon, internal disputes also when it comes to coming up with a seat sharing formula, although both the alliance partners maintain that everything is looking great, and they are in a understanding and they're respectfully accepting what the alliance partners want in terms of seats and candidates and so on. While that is what is being said, we don't know what exactly is happening inside. That'll be clear when the seats are announced, or when that the final decision happens, which is when we could see whether there is whether there are going to be leaders who will join the other sides. We did see a lot of party shift, people changing boats just ahead of Lok Sabha polls. Milind Deora, Ashok Chavan. Now, will there be some big leaders once again changing ships? All that will become clear in the days to come. But certainly fascinating polls. This is going to be post 2019, dramatic changes in the political landscape. So it will be interesting to see how things will be in the next few weeks.
In fact, you spoke about the cabinet decision yesterday, and Prabhakar, like in Maharashtra, the Soren cabinet also announced a slew of projects yesterday, just a day ahead of the poll date announcement, including, of course, 2,500 rupees per month to women. So, last-ditch efforts to woo the voters.
Yeah, exactly, and that has been working on ground. Remember, this is a Maiya Saman Yojana, basically a stipend given to women folks, and it started with 1,000 rupees. So BJP countered it by stating that if it is voted to power in Jharkhand, it would give a 2,500 rupees stipend. So that was one thing which JMM was bound to match, which they have done, and they have already passed it through the cabinet. So now it is 2,500 rupees promised by both the parties. JMM is the one which is already giving it on ground, but they are so far giving 1,000 rupees a month, which would now be increased to 2,500 rupees if they are voted back to power. See, the dates are already being announced today, and the BJP top brass is meeting in Delhi today to finalize the sheet sharing agreement. The real challenge is within the NDA camp actually to finalize the number of seats which goes to its alliance partner. BJP is a big brother out here. They have an old alliance partner called AJSU, which is All Jharkhand Student Union, headed by Sudesh Mehto. They are the old alliance partners of BJP as far as Jharkhand is concerned. JDU was always there with the BJP in Jharkhand. So they have two new entrants, which is Chirag Paswan and Jitan Ram Manjhi. Now they are also demanding their share of cake. They are eyeing Jharkhand. They want to contest the seats over there, and they have already pointed out the seats which they want in their kitty. Now it's a challenge for the BJP because you altogether have 81 seats so far. So what are the number of seats which they will give out to the alliance partners, because they have 5 so far, including Jitan Ram Manjhi and Chirag Paswan. BJP so far has offered 1 seat to Jitan Ram Manjhi, 1 to Chirag Paswan, 2 to JDU, and then they have the number of seats alliance with AJSU, which is an old alliance which is already existing on the ground. Whether Chirag Paswan and JDU and Jitan Ram Manjhi, will they accept this offer? So that is one thing which BJP will have to battle it out. As they are meeting in Delhi today, headed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, these things will be sorted out today.
All right, Prabhakar and Radhika, thanks very much for joining us. Of course, seat sharing in both states is extremely critical in Jharkhand as well. As Prabhakar is pointing out, the BJP sort of testing waters there in a sense. But of course, it's going to be fascinating to see what the Election Commission comes up with, whether the election is going to be held together, whether it's going to be a single-phase election in Maharashtra or a multi-phase election in Jharkhand like last time. So all of those questions will be answered in that briefing at 3 p.m. today. But moving now to Maharashtra, of course, both the camps, the Mahayuti as well as the Maha Vikas Aghadi are in a huddle. Of course, the Maharashtra BJP CEC meet is expected to be held tomorrow. In fact, last night there was a key MVA meet is what we are being told at Mallikarjun Kharge's residence. Of course, both camps claiming that, well, the seat sharing has been finalized. Radhika continues to be with us, in fact. Radhika, so, as far as the Mahayuti is concerned, it's going to be interesting to see how it pans out, because the sense is that the BJP is likely to get a lion's share of the seats as far as Maharashtra is concerned. But also, what about the chief ministerial candidate? Are they going to project Chief Minister Eknath Shinde as the CM candidate going into elections?
Well, neither of the parties, neither of the alliance partners have decided on the chief ministerial phase. In fact, Uddhav Thackeray time and again had been saying that I do not want to be the chief minister's face. I am willing to back whoever the parties, the alliance partners choose. So that is something he said. But he's been, quite particular that ahead of polls, they should announce a chief minister's face from within MVA. Something that the NCP as well as the Congress party not really aligning with. So they are not really keen on announcing a CM's face within the entire MVA equation. The same with Mahayuti. They have not really put out a name. Is it going to be Eknath Shinde? Is it going to be Devendra Fadnavis? All that remains to be seen. But even the Mahayuti partners have decided to not really come up with a chief ministerial candidate face. So it's interesting because both of them are waiting for the other one to put out a name, perhaps. Uddhav Thackeray the other day in a rally said, let Mahayuti put out a name. Why are they pointing fingers at me? Because they've been time and again saying that Uddhav Thackeray wants power, wants fame, which Uddhav Thackeray had been rubbishing for the longest time, saying that he is ready to back whichever candidate that the parties decide on. So no CM's face certainly, but seat sharing formula still being decided. Mahayuti claimed that 90% of it has been decided out of the 288 seats. Looks like BJP will get the lion's share, close to 150, and the close second will be Sena with about 90 to 100 seats, and NCP, Ajit Pawar perhaps might only manage about 40 to 50 seats. Something similar in MVA as well, but Sena and Congress may get similar numbers, because Congress emerged as the big brother after the Lok Sabha polls. They got the highest number of seats and they won the highest number of seats. So therefore, there is a possibility that both the Congress and Sena may get equal share, and NCP slightly less. Perhaps Sharad Pawar party may get about 80 seats is what we are hearing. But talks still going on, meetings still happening, huddles still happening. So we'll have to wait for a few more days before both the Mahayuti and MVA announce the final seat sharing formula.
Radhika, thanks very much for joining us with the latest here. As Radhika is reporting, the seat sharing formula is more or less finalized. In fact, senior journalist Javed Ansari is also with us live. Javed Saab, thanks very much for being with us. How do you see the Maharashtra battle playing out? Of course, seat sharing is going to be key, both for Mahayuti and MVA. But looking at what happened in Haryana, do you see the Congress now perhaps recalibrating its strategy vis-a-vis its alliance partners, perhaps willing to concede more seats to its alliance partners?
Well, it's high time they did, because obviously whatever they tried in Haryana didn't succeed.
Yes.
They failed in Haryana. Haryana was an election for them to lose, and they went and lost it. So obviously some lessons will hopefully will have been learned. One of them is the question of who will be chief minister. There is a feeling in the Congress camp, in a section of the Congress, that the Congress, because it's emerged as single largest, there must be a congressman projected as chief minister, but there's a larger group which feels that they must emulate what the BJP has done in Bihar, which is, despite being the single largest party, they've supported Nitish Kumar. So people believe that they should put their shoulder behind support Mr. Uddhav Thackeray, project him as the chief ministerial candidate, and of course, try and take as many seats as they possibly can when the seat sharing arrangements kick into place.
Also, we saw in the Lok Sabha polls as well, Maharashtra proved to be a challenge for the Mahayuti camp. But looking at this entire battle between the two factions of the Shiv Sena and the two factions of the NCP, do you see that battle as sort of now behind us, given the fact that it was clear in the Lok Sabha polls as well that despite losing the symbol and despite losing the name, the Sena faction, the Uddhav faction of the Sena did manage to do well, did manage to pull off the Lok Sabha polls?
Well, absolutely. This is going to be a battle. The BJP will have to do the heavy lifting as far as the Mahayuti alliance is concerned. And on the other side, as far the other side appears to be a more homogeneous alliance with Uddhav Thackeray and with Mr. Sharad Pawar playing the role of the elder statesman and trying to keep the different factions, the different parties together and keeping them on the right track. So everything will depend on how successful the BJP is and whether or not the alliance, the Congress-led Uddhav Thackeray NCP alliance can hang in together. If they do, then they appear to be on a good wicket at the moment.
Javed Saab, thanks very much for joining us with the latest there. So as Javed Ansari is saying, well, it's the BJP which will have to do heavy lifting there as far as Maharashtra is concerned. But certainly the campaigns will pick up pace now with the Model Code of Conduct kicking in this afternoon.